Canadian livestock transporters are required to complete a bunch of forms for every transport of animals. The process involves filling out an endless stack of papers, but not anymore. The Humane Transport app has introduced a new, smarter way to make this process easier for transporters, all through a single mobile app. The app lets transporters fill out all requirements of the Canadian Food Inspections Agency within a single form. You can visit your transport history, you can share it by email, you can set up recurring jobs, no more adding the same information over and over again. You can upload images, pictures, signatures, and receipts, all with a few taps on your smartphone.
Hello, and welcome to Humane Transport Project. The software application we developed is for Canadian animal transporters and allow these transporters to digitally record animal transport records over the current process of manual and paper records. What's up, everyone? My name is Clark,
My name is Kelly.
My name is Mansi.
My name is Sana.
and we are the developers.
Canadian animal transporters are required to document and check everything they do before, during, and after transport. This includes checking the animals they are loading for injuries. It includes checking their trailer and containers and making sure that they're adequate for travel. During the drive, there's a number of things that can go wrong. What if there's a road closure or an animal becomes injured? Who does the transporter contact in these situations? And once they figure that out, Canadian regulations require that they document it all too. This means repeating their actions in writing, a lot of writing. They need to be aware of what measures they took for animal welfare and what caused delays or damages.
What transporters write down is regulated by Health of Animals Act. This act defines possible events that can affect transportation, as well as animals being transported, and required information and further guidance to ensure safe transportation. Required information also includes feed, water, and rest intervals to keep track of when animals were last fed, details of unexpected events, animals' health conditions, vehicle information, and shippers and receivers info. Furthermore, the Act also describes steps or processes to follow when certain events occur, such as what you should do under extreme weather and what you should do if animals are compromised.
Transporters have a lot on their plate. This is more than enough reading and writing for anybody. An idea was brought to us by Anne Ellen of the CFIA. What if things didn't have to be this way? We say it doesn't have to be so complex and confusing. Our team created a mobile application that combines the requirements and process of the Health of Animals Act into a simpler experience. We bring you the Humane Transport application.
Let's have a look at the awesome features of this app, which solve the problems transporters face. The most important feature is that through this app, transporter can easily make transport documents. Current process requires many printed forms filled by transporters to make sure that all animals and transports data is collected. In this app, all the required forms are combined into one single form, so it is easier for transporter to fill out all necessary information. Once transporter has submitted the animal transport form, they cannot modify it, and it will store into the database. Transporter can also retrieve all the past travel history records through this app. They can even search for their past records. And in industry, it is very hard to save or search all these paper documents. Moreover, this will save our trees and our environment. Transporters can even share this travel history records as PDF and email. For example, if CFIA inspector asks for past records, transporter can simply share their records. This app also works offline. That means transporter can read and write the data when device is offline. For example, when transporter has no internet and they has to enter information, then this app will save the information, and when the device comes back online, the data will be saved automatically over the internet. That's cool, isn't it? In the form, transporter can upload signature as images. If person does not know how to take digital signature, they can just sign on the paper and take photo and upload it in the form. We have this question screen, which is very helpful for transporters. This will guide transporter to determine how to handle animals safely during unloading from the truck and loading them into the truck. How to safely handle injured animal. Previously, transporter need to find this information on their own, and now we provide it as a part of our tool. This will raise awareness and give transporters a sense of confidence.
We meet the record requirements of TFIA and the Health of Animals regulations in three main ways. The first way our app meets regulation is by providing a way of records to be kept for 2 years. Rather than making transporters responsible for paper documents, the app handles it for them. Secondly, we prevent transporters from accidentally making changes after submitting a form. This stops misinformation and archives the document. Third, we provide form validation. We make sure that, that transporters have provided contingency plan and have the minimum required information as made by the CFIA. They are still free to add their own plan and information in addition to contingency plan. Prior to our application, transporters had to hunt down the regulations, requirements, and plans details on their own. This information is spread out everywhere, from the Inspection Canada website to the Government of Canada website. In the public eye, there's no central spot for information. There's a lot to know. Our application brings this information into the hands of transporters that use our app. We make this information more available and more relatable with our questions page and guidance in the app transport form.
Our application is just the beginning of digitizing the animal transport system. Moving from paper to device gives us so many benefits. Let's think of one such example. Before the app, if a disease spreading event happened, a member of the CFIA would be tasked with tracking down all the people involved or could have been involved. What happens if we don't know who was present at the time? What if we don't have their contact information, or if they can't find their paperwork that proves where they were? With the app, rather than starting from scratch without knowing who could be involved, you can search the records database for transports that happened at the time and place. You can find everyone and their contact information in one place. Consider further what moving animal transport to the online world means for businesses. If we're already tracking the whereabouts of animals and their condition, why not track the distance they travel to? The data from hundreds of transports could be used to build a map of transport routes. We could reduce the long drives for animals, and if there's clear evidence of a closer destination, we can support more local businesses and ultimately less traveling for animals and transporters. Even further than all this, what could it mean for people? What if animal transport could become transparent? What could we do for people who are interested in where livestock came from? Very much like how we can watch our online orders go from the warehouse to shipment and to the front door, what if we could do this with animal transports and get real-time information about road hazards and disruptions, and then reroute transports so that animals and transporters can reduce their time and stress on the road? These are just a few things we can think of that are the future of moving from paper to a digital world. Our application is like dipping our toes into the pool of innovation. We think it is worth it to at least experiment with online transportation and the benefits it provides, like metadata, or the chance to see how much more streamlined transportation could be with a few changes here and there. Our application is just the beginning.
Here are the list of features we want or would like to see for future development of the app. Database. Our chosen database to create our application is developed with Google services, but would expect people adopting the project to swap out for another service, and we designed our project to allow that to happen. Testing. We did not receive a chance to test with transporters. This application should have a field test run with people who are willing to try out what we've made in real life. Inspector account. As of now, we have two different kinds of people who uses our app, the transporters and the CFIA administrators. We would be great in the future if the system could expand to include inspectors. The inspectors can check all previous travel records and would be able to randomly select a travel record for inspection purposes. Voice recognition. Voice recognition allows users to fill out the form without using their hands. This feature is really useful in a scenario where typing is not an option. For instance, fingers that is covered with dust or perhaps oil. You see, converting voice text will definitely boost up our user experience. Video recording. As shown in our commercial video earlier, our application allows transporters to upload images. The image can be used in many ways, such as uploading signatures or capturing unexpected events. This, however, can be further improved by allowing users to capture videos. Videos can be really useful, especially if something unexpected happened. You see, images are good, but this requires transporter to explain or give context to that image. This basically means more typing to be done. But this video eliminate extra typing work for our users. Transporter can explain what happened at that moment while recording a video. Finally, our application needs to be responsive. Our application is available on Android and Apple devices, which we think is pretty good. However, it would be really nice and complete the user experience if our application is also available on bigger devices like laptops. And this concludes our presentation. Thank you everyone who was part of the commercial development and presentation. We'd also like to thank our professors and family for sticking out through it with us.